Okay, we have tails.
So this
Royal
point belong with me? Or
Yes, coach. Would you
this
be
point
batting
belong
or
with me?
bowling?
I will do back.
All right, very good.
team member に聞いたらやっぱり今日はバッティングの方がいいじゃない。
सुपरस्टार आए आज। So very good afternoon to viewers who are watching here. We've got the Kansai Region's Japan Cup final at the new Kaizaka cricket field. Just at the end of the first over, the Kobe Hawks fielding. Royal Osaka is the batting team. No wicket down for 1 run. Just starting the second over now. The batsman's wrapped a little bit high there, upper region of the pads. This is a new pitch we're using for the very, very first time here in Kaisuke City. And we're very fortunate to have this ground that's been built. First time in the Kansai region that we have a hard pitch. And these fast bowlers seem to be using it quite well at the moment. That ball goes down the leg side. Looks like it may run away for 4 runs. And that's the first 4 of the match for Royal Osaka.
Yeah, 5 wides there, and the Kobe Hawks had been applying quite a lot of pressure there to the Royal Osaka Tigers openers, when that just lets the pressure off a little bit, doesn't it? Couldn't ask for more perfect weather for the opening day at Kaisuke, Alan. Just a gentle breeze, about 22 degrees, I'd say.
That ball's running away. It's going to be pulled up well short of the boundary now. If the field takes another look, but they're safely through for a 2. Yeah, the weather really is perfect here for cricket, and we're coming to the end of our season, but this really is 20 degrees, nice light breeze, perfect time to be playing. To introduce ourselves, I'm here with the coach of the Japan national cricket team, Dougal Bedingfield, who's commentating with me today. Thank you, Dougal, for being with us.
Thanks, Alan. One of a few coaches now. We've added a few coaches to the system. Myself, Bebe Miyagi's been working with the ladies team recently, and we've just appointed a new high performance manager, Simon Dart, formerly from Cricket Victoria. He'll be starting as soon as he can come over here.
That's excellent. I understand also you had very good success in the under-19 competitions. We just see the next ball from the batsman. Hits a nice shot there. Quick single, and that's very tight. Umpires are taking a look. I think we're going to have our first review.
Umpire Silver's called for the third umpire here. Must have been close. The throw wasn't perfect, but there's a lot of ground to be made up, and this could be quite close.
As we take a look at the replay, the shot's away. The fielder approached quick. That throw, direct hit would have been out. What have we got? Doesn't look like the bat was being grounded. That could be close. Third umpire's going to give his decision on this.
Yeah, I just didn't see that bat being grounded. I think he could be in a bit of trouble.
I think if the bat had been grounded, he may have made his ground, but it did not look the best. We're seeing it again. This is close. That looks like he may be out.
And yeah, he knows it too. He's on his way.
So a little bit of history here in Kansai, and also for Japan cricket, the first use of the third umpire for a run out.
Seemed to work pretty seamlessly, actually, the third umpire. First time it was in action, and we got a result pretty quickly, I thought.
Yes, it was good to see, and particularly with the bat not being grounded, the batsman was always going to be in trouble.
I think a dive might have been in order there. So we've got a beautiful new lush green infield, so no worries about hurting yourself on the way down.
Yeah, the wicketkeeper went down for it, but the batsman wasn't as keen. But the new batsman facing now, I believe, is the captain of the Royal Osaka Tigers. cautious start. Second ball to the new batsman, flicked off his pads. There's another close call. That would have been out, I think. Direct hit would have been gone. So a little bit of confusion here at the start of the match with the batsmen's running. Could be they're not used to the ground, of course. Could be the big occasions got them a little bit nervous.
Another quick piece of work by the keeper, who did a good job, I thought, for the initial run out, and almost had a second one there.
I like the look of this bowler, number 10 from Kobe Hawks, Abassi. He's done very well in the league stages and following it up here in the final match. That's a big shot. Is somebody under that?
It's got to be caught.
And he is out. A little bit of confusion in the field there with two fielders approaching the ball, but luckily at the very end, one let the other take the ball, and a good solid catch. As we watch the replay. Yes, there's the confusion, and luckily the catch is taken.
Never quite looked comfortable at the crease there, Gulankala, and Abassi's lengths, I thought, caused him some real issues. In the end, you've got to be aggressive in the first 6 overs, and he was eyeing off that short straight boundary, but just didn't quite get enough of it.
It'll be interesting to see how the Royal Osaka Tigers now approach this innings. They've lost a wicket early from the run out. They've now lost one from a catch. 2 wickets down, 11 runs on the board. So the next ball is in, and they're a little bit more cautious with that run.
Well, that's a short ball. I think he needs to bring out the pull shot there. Really need some scoring options for that short of a length delivery.
There's a big shout. There's a chance for a run out. It's all happening. I think the shout there, the ball was always... The umpire's just holding the bowler up a touch here as the field gets set. Are we ready to go now? That's short, and that surprises the batsman. Pulls back quite nicely, but that certainly surprised him. Some bounce in this wicket.
Captain Mahenda not enjoying this short pitch bowling. I think he prefers it when it's pitched up, and some good tactics here by the Kobe Hawks.
And another one where he didn't look comfortable. Certainly in the league stages, we've seen the captain of Royal Osaka very strong on the leg side. But when the ball is pitched up, he seems to be just struggling a touch today. Chance for another quick single. So this is probably more of what they need to do at the moment. Pick up the quick singles, rotate the strike.
Well, I think that's his intent right now. He looks like he just wants to get through this power play without losing a 3rd wicket.
Yes. Royal Osaka Tigers, having won the toss, deciding to bat, obviously must have a strategy in their mind as to how many runs they want from the power play. And perhaps those early 2 wickets have just changed their plans a bit.
Yeah, I think they've gone into their shells a little bit, which is understandable, but you can't stop attacking in a game of 2020 cricket. They need to post a pretty healthy target to be any chance to defend, I think.
Batsman facing up for this next one. Good chance, nice drive, just the single.
Well, that's more positive, but with the firepower in this Cold Bay Hawks batting lineup, what do you think a competitive score would be here for the Royal Osaka Tigers?
Both teams are playing at this ground for the first time. It's a little hard to judge because of that, but the Cold Bay Hawks and Royal Osaka both have some very, very powerful batsmen. I would expect them to be clearing the rope, hitting fours. 160, 170 would definitely be a competitive total. Anything around 120, 130 might be too short. So I think in their minds they'll be thinking 160, 170. Anyone who pushes it to 200, wow, they'll be really pleased with themselves today.
Well, at 2 for 14 after 4 overs, you'd have to say they'd be happy with probably 140 at this point. I can't see them getting to anywhere near 200.
That's another nice drive. Bowler manages with his foot to stop that one. Yes, the batsmen are really not getting the ball off the square at the moment, are they?
We've got Sunny Singh on strike. Tall Indian right-handed batsman. Do you know much about him, Alan?
He always performs well. I haven't... he's probably not one of their really, really big hitters, but he always is a steady performer. Has played a lot of the league matches on perhaps a little bit smaller grounds than this one. And certainly he is a player they would be looking, Cold Bay Hawks would be looking to get out early. But as you've said before, 2 wickets down, only 15 on the board. I think their strategy has changed from what they originally planned. The calling between the batsmen definitely seems to have picked up from those early overs now. We're hearing very clear, fast calls of no, maybe some calls of yes we'll hear next. And that's a good shot, maybe just may have cleared the rope.
One bouncing over the rope, I think, but he's hit that nicely.
So perhaps we're now seeing them come out of their shell just a bit.
I think that might be his favoured go-to area by the looks of it, Mahender. That pitched up ball just outside off that he can free his arms and hit through the covers, or over the covers in that case.
The follow-up ball was a little bit of a wide ball, and that's been given a wide. Tucked away off the pads. Another single. Takes the Royal Osaka Tigers to 21 for the full, just 2 wickets at the moment. So we see the replay on that. It's a very good action coming in and nicely tucked off the pads. That's a very good ball from the bowler there. Nice length, nothing on offer for the batsman.
Just beating for pace a little bit there. I like the left arm around the wicket. It's something a little bit different, and nice whippy action.
I think today, because we're playing on this concrete pitch, this permanent pitch, the fast bowlers are going to get more out of this match than perhaps they normally do in some of our league matches we've had in Kansai. And certainly is a credit to the ground that's been built here by Kaizaka City Forest, the cricketing organisations, and the fact that these players can come together on a finals day and play on such a beautiful pitch is wonderful for the Kansai region.
Yeah, who'd have thought we'd be able to see a game of cricket on such a beautiful ground. You've played plenty of cricket, Alan, on some of the other grounds in Kansai. Tell us a little bit about just a standard game of club cricket in Kansai up until now.
To be honest, Dougal, it's been a little bit difficult for us because we've been limited to the grounds we could play on, and most of the matches we've ended up playing have been dirt grounds stones on the ground. So we just see the next ball here. And that was a chance. Would have been an excellent catch if the wicketkeeper had perhaps taken that, but a chance nonetheless. Yes, the grounds really don't compare to what we're seeing today. This is a fantastic venue, fantastic ground that's been made, and I'm sure we're going to enjoy a lot of cricket here in the future.
Mix up here. And the captain, unfortunately, is going to have to leave. Just a little bit of miscommunication is all it takes, and that's a big wicket for the Kobe Hawks.
Didn't really seem as if there was much in that play. The shot was clipped away, and suddenly the mix-up, a run out. So watching the replay, no chance to get back there. And that really is a shame for the Royal Osaka Tigers, who looked as if they were just starting to pile on a few runs. Very nice work by the keeper, and an easy decision for the umpires.
Yeah, the mid-wicket was quite deep there, and I think initially the batsman thought, oh, okay, we can run one. I just don't think the captain was on the same wavelength.
I think that's right. Looking at the replay, I thought there was a single there. And if the batsman, the captain, had shown a little more intent, I think they could have got through for a quick single. So that's the third wicket down with only 22 on the board, and I think, again, that changes the whole aspect of this match. The captain was one of their big hitters. He showed us he can definitely reach the ropes, and with him out, that will certainly, again, make it harder for them. Just getting the field set. Umpire's ready to go. And that's just down the leg side.
New batsman to the crease, Sandeep Krishnan, a wicketkeeper batsman. And how often do you see when a left-hander comes into the crease and the first balls are wide? Just need a little readjustment from the bowler.
Nicely tucked away, and definitely the fielder sitting quite deep there. Easy single. Almost looked as if the batsman premeditated that shot. As soon as the ball was short, he just dropped it, and the fielder sitting so far back, the single was always on. The umpire's just changing over now. We've got a left-hand, right-hand combination, getting themselves set. And that's a good ball. That looked tight, maybe just going down leg.
Perhaps just drifting down the leg side, but a good shout.
Yeah. Well, this bowler, when the left-hander was facing, this bowler did drop some wides in there, but his length seems to be on. I mean, that was a good shout for an LBW. The ball was tucked right up under the pads. His length seems to be quite full all the time. Another good ball there. It's clipped away for one.
And we had the mayor of Kaizuka, Mr. Fujiwara, bowling the first ball.
Yes, that was great to see. It's always nice when the mayor can come out on his cricket field, bowl the first ball. And I hope we see the mayor and maybe some of the other councillors later also coming out for a game.
How did you rate Mayor Fujiwara's bowling action, Alan?
Excellent. I'd like to see next season perhaps him as a regular in one of the teams. We could definitely use some new Japanese players.
Well, he's been a fantastic supporter of cricket over the last couple of years. Looks like he might have been practicing a little bit for the moment.
I think that could be the case. It really is good to see, as I've said today, Kaisuka City have made this ground. Should we just watch the next ball? Batsman no run. Kaisuka City have made this ground for the benefit of the cricketing community. They hope to encourage many teams, perhaps from international countries, to come and have either international cricket camps or international cricket matches here, as well as, we just see the next ball, batsman scuttling for 1 run, as well as obviously the local communities playing here. And we do have a Kaisuka team actually this year, new in our league, Kaisuka Aigers.
I'm a little bit confused about the pronunciation of the team as well. The Kaisuka Aigers, I'm going to say, which is a mythical Greek god of some sort, or I'm going to have to research that one again.
I'm leaving that one up to you, Dougal. That's all yours. Oh, very good take by the wicketkeeper to save 5 runs there.
Wicketkeeper's been impressive.
Yes. One of the things you were asking me about the other grounds we have played on, the wicketkeepers do not want to dive when we've got gravel pitches. Whereas here, with the beautiful grass, he'll be diving all day long. Another possible mix-up, but safely back.
Yeah, when you've got a wicketkeeper who can dive around, stop byes and wides, and just be the focal point of the team, create energy, it really, the whole team feeds off that, I think.
I think I heard a noise, but it sounded like the pads. Did not sound like bat on that.
I think it just flicked the pads on the way through, otherwise it would have been a wide.
Yes, some of the fielders perhaps on the other side, they were just hoping it may have touched the bat. Wasn't really a big appeal, but the noise definitely pads. That's struck the batsman a little too high. I see the keeper running around here, and he was flicking that back to try and get either a run out or a stumped. He's definitely an outstanding player today.
He's come to play.
Yeah, saved them 10 runs perhaps already with his fielding, and with the score at 28 for the loss of 3 wickets, you'd have to say the keeper is he limping off the ground at the moment? Is that an injury, or is he looking for a helmet?
I think a spinner will be coming on now, and he's called for the helmet.
Okay, so this could be interesting to see how the game changes slightly. Will the batsman go after a spinner if it's a spinner here, or will they take a look and see what the pitch is going to do before they mount their assault?
The boundaries here today are not long straight of the wicket, so I think the batsman need to be thinking, I'm going to hit the bowler straight back over his head, rather than...
And I'm sure his captain will appreciate the fact that he's just settled after that loosener, and he's now back exactly where he wants to put the ball. That'll be a 6. That's the first big hit of the day.
It's gone over the tents and just missed the gentleman wearing the white shirt, who didn't have much idea about it.
We almost had the first injury of the day, and that would have been very unfortunate, but certainly from the middle of the ground, that was a great hit, and I'm glad to see that no one was injured in the outer.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the left-hander, Sandeep Krishnan, he sets up well. He's got a nice back lift, long arms. Looks like he's capable of clearing the ropes.
And he's driving straight now. Another low full toss. Just a single. I think the bowler would be relieved that that one was just the single and get another batsman on strike.
Just struggling a bit with his lengths in his first over.
Let's see what the right-hander thinks of this bowling. That's close. That's got to be close.
That
looked good.
Very close.
I'd like to see the replay on that.
Sweeping and hit on the back leg.
So let's take a look from the other angle, coming in the wicket-keeper's view here. That looked very tight.
Well, we're not directly behind the bowler. We're on a little bit of an angle, but that looked like a very good appeal.
Yes. It looks like two different bowlers at the moment. To the left-hander, we're seeing him getting hit for 6. To the right-hander, it's almost as if the batsman doesn't know what's coming down. That's another look at the 6 here on the monitor. That's a very good shot. It was too short, really, the ball, but the batsman still had to put it away, and it was a very good shot.
Yeah, it's quite a gentle pace, the left arm spin, and not much margin for error bowling to a left-hander. You don't want to get your length wrong.
And we've had 8 overs now. Royal Osaka Tigers 3 down for 39. We were talking earlier about a possible score of, I was mentioning 160. Dougal, you maybe thought 120 might be more what they might get. It's not looking great for them at the moment, to be honest, with only 40 runs on the board. They'll need to pick up the pace.
They will need to pick up the pace. A little partnership developing here, though. If they can get to 10 overs and be 55-ish, maybe set themselves to go at 8, 9, 10 and over for the last 10, then suddenly you've got a score on the board. I'm not sure it'll be enough, but it'll be competitive.
Yes. This bowler at the moment, Laxman, sorry, I just lost his name there, apologies. He has some pace, doesn't he? The ball at the moment is not easy for the batsman to get away, particularly if he digs it in short. That one's just clipped off the pads. But when oh, and a direct hit.
Oh, I think we might be seeing the third umpire come into play again, and we are.
It's caught. This is interesting.
Oh.
Now,
and again, I'm not sure if that bat got grounded.
It's grounding the bat is not popular in the Kansai League this year. Now we've come to such a
we've got
good
a replay.
Ground. Here it is. And the non-striker was looking on, very worried. Here's a close. That bat needs to get down.
Oh, I think he's just got it down.
He's made it. The bat today, obviously, but he just got it down in time. And there's some good pace here from the bowler. That's been called a wide, but he's certainly generating some pace.
Yeah, he generates that pace off quite a short run up, ambles in, and strong shoulders. He just almost sneaks up on the batsman a little bit quicker than you'd think.
So we see the next one. The batsman's trying to get that away, just the single. So it looks there the batsman was shaping to move away to the leg and give himself some room, and readjusted when he saw the ball just on a very good line and a good length as well. So we see the replay. The batsman just tucking there. He's advancing down the pitch actually, and got a single. So it looks like this combination is doing quite well. They're certainly aware they need to keep the singles and the strike rotating.
Yeah, they've actually started rotating the strike just in the last couple of overs, which is a good sign.
So we come to the end of the 9th over. It's 45 runs on the board, just for the loss of 3 wickets. What do you think, Dougal, this next 5 or 6 over up to the 15th, they're going to be keeping it stable with 3 wickets down, or do you think they're going to maybe risk a little bit more?
I've got a feeling they might want to target the left-arm spinner.
Well, let's see what this over does for them. And that was quite different to what we saw in the last over from this bowler. And there's a little bit more
Oh,
full
is that
toss.
a catch? Oh, just misread it, I thought. He came in 5 or 10 metres from the boundary line and ended up going with one hand.
I think if he'd seen that a little earlier, he could have maybe started on the right path. He did seem a little bit slow at the beginning.
I think he's just misjudged the flight of the ball.
I wouldn't have minded seeing a dive here as well with the grass so nice. There's always a chance when the spinner is on and the ball is either full toss or brought up, the batsman might give a chance to a fielder. That's played just very nicely. So a little bit cautious from the batsmen. They seem to obviously want to punish the bad balls, but if the ball's on a good length, they're still being cautious at this stage.
I think Krishna's just waiting for the ball that he likes. Last ball of the over, and just chipped over the extra cover fieldsman for 4, and they get 8 from the over.
So that's a very good finish to the over there. And Royal Osaka Tigers, little bit by little bit, inching ahead, trying to increase their score. The end of the 10th over, so 3 down for 53. And probably over in the Royal Osaka Tigers tent at the moment, they'll be thinking about what their plan is next. Halfway through their innings at the moment, 53 runs on the board.
Well, they've got themselves back into this game. It was looking pretty bleak there for a while, but I think this partnership's really steadied the ship.
Another good single there. Probably when the fast bowlers are on, if they can keep the strike rotating, even with the 54 they have on the board, they can take advantage in those last few overs. And if they start hitting some 4s and 6s, get their score above 100, 120, maybe try and push a bit further on, but if they lose wickets, that plan will change. Let's hope they can keep this going along. They're thinking of a second, but no, just keeping it to 1. A little bit of a breeze just starting to come across the ground now. Do you think, Dougal, this will affect at all the bowlers? Are they going to get any swing? Is it not really going to change things much?
I don't think it'll change too much. The Newbury white balls swing pretty well for probably 6 or 7 overs, but you don't get much after that. It might assist the batsman even a little bit, being able to hit with the wind from one end. But I don't think it'll have too much of an effect.
It's another nicely tucked off the legs. They're coming back for 2 on this one. Fielder unsure what the plan was there, but they came back for 2. Very nice.
Looks like the new Kaiser Cup pitch is getting plenty of bounce, Alan, and the Royal Osaka Tigers batsmen haven't quite adjusted to that. I think they've been probably playing on pitches that haven't had this consistent bounce. And they've missed out on a few scoring opportunities.
So we see another possible 2 runs. Yes, the batsmen get through for 2 there. Very good. I think you're right, Dougal, that we haven't played on pitches that have had a lot of bounce. And because today both teams are here for the first time, the batsmen do have to adjust. I know that Royal Osaka Tigers do have a very good bowling lineup, and they felt confident they could extract some pitch, some bounce out of this pitch, and also they can get some pace on it as well, more pace and a little bit of skid through to the wicketkeeper. So perhaps the batsmen haven't quite thought that through yet, but the bowlers seem to have come with that plan.
Yeah, the Kobe Hawks fast bowlers certainly haven't been shy of digging it in a little bit short.
It's good to see some of these replays and watching the wicketkeeper's footwork there. We mentioned earlier in the match he'd saved quite a few runs, but just watching his footwork, he really does seem to have come ready for the game and to be 100% fully in it.
Krishnan continuing his strategy of dots and boundaries to the left armour.
The spinner certainly settling into his bowling now after those first couple of overs, a few loose balls. We're certainly seeing more consistency in his line. That's a bit short, and the batsman has had a good swing at that. 1 bounce and over the rope.
Just a fraction short, and he picked that up really early.
It definitely looked like the batsman was ready for that ball, as if he'd been waiting, just waiting for the short ball to come and then taking the chance to hit a 4, knowing that the fielder wasn't in that place, splitting the gap between the 2 fielders that are in the outfield there. And I think the fielder's actually just moved a bit further around after that shot. Safe single. I don't want to jinx the batting team, but certainly in the Kansai League we've seen a lot where teams have struggled in the first 10 overs. We just watch this next ball. It's tucked away for probably just the 1. The batsmen are thinking of a second. They're coming back for it, and that'll be a rough bounce there. Keeper had some hard work to do, but nicely backed up. And we got to see the dive at last from a batsman.
We did. He was very keen to make his ground there, Sandeep Krishnan. And good piece of batting. Picking up 2s in 2020 cricket is an underrated. It definitely helps you win matches. It's not all about hitting 4s and 6s.
We were just talking about the score then for a moment, and I was saying that in the Kansai League we often see the first 10 overs batting teams struggle, perhaps only put on 60, and in the second 10 overs they add an extra 100. And we're never sure whether it's the bowlers who've tied a bit or the batsmen who've just picked up the pace, but I don't know what the team will do today, but certainly we have seen in the league quite a change between the first and the second lot of 10 overs.
That can sometimes happen when on smaller grounds, where in which case the power play is probably not as important a factor. It's very difficult to defend the last few overs if you're playing on a small ground. Ball gets a bit older.
Yes, very good point. And towards that, the spinner, I think, has bowled now 3 overs. He'll perhaps continue and bowl out his 4th before we get to the end of the innings. Perhaps let him finish his spell up. Now, these two batsmen have been at the crease for quite a while now, and they just called for a quick drink during the change of overs there. But we're getting back to the action now. There's another good hit off the legs there. That struck away very nicely for 4 runs.
That was a classy shot by Sunny Singh. Just picked that up nicely just off his pads. A couple of bounces over the rope.
So when they were getting a drink there, they may have just had a quick word as well and decided perhaps they're going to up the pace a little bit. Certainly.
The Kobe Hawks captain, Nazar Arain, has been pretty impressive so far. I think he's been moving his fielders around, just trying to counter the batsman's tactics. And again, there's just a slight alteration to the field.
Yes, the Kobe Hawks captain is quite a quiet-spoken cricketer, but he knows exactly where he wants his players to be. He commands a lot of respect in his team. So we're just seeing just the 1 run there. And his fielders respond always to his requests. I've been impressed how he's rotated his bowlers as well. He's definitely trying to read the game, get his spinners on at the right moments, bring his fast pace back in. And so far having a very good game. That was another chance. Bit of a heave there. Cut off just before it goes over the rope, so just the 1 run. But the batsmen definitely look like they're going for their shots more now than they were earlier. I think that 10 over, that little drink they had at the 10 over break, they've had a chat and they've decided only 3 wickets down, 74 or 70 on the board when they had that drink. And I think they've decided they need to up the run rate. I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to get to that 160.
I think they're definitely aware that 120, 130 won't be enough. And they've certainly just gone up a gear after that little drinks break, I guess. A bottle of water was run out and possibly a message as well.
So they're just going to get probably the 1 there. The batsman keen to take a look at a 2, but I think it was always just a 1 run. We have 7 teams in the Kansai League for Japan Cup, and this year all the teams have played each other once. We then had a qualifying section at the very end. Just to think about scores there a bit, in the first qualifier between Kobe Hawks and Keihan Blaze, Keihan put on 115 for the loss of 7 wickets, and Kobe chased them down 119 for the loss of 5. So there's a score around that 120 marks. We see the next ball. And batsman Not connecting, but that's a wide. Batsman just going off to the side and having a think about that. Maybe he wishes he'd hit it. In the second final, Royal Osaka Tigers and Osaka Raiders played each other. We'll just come back to that in a moment. And that's a good chance. Clipped off the legs, that'll be 4 runs.
There's no one down at fine leg. Oh, there's a little bit of footwork I don't think has saved him.
I think a dive may have just saved it, but he probably was not wanting to dive down in the outfield there. Just missed with his boot before the ball crossed the line.
Back to that semi-final, you were talking about the second semi-final. Osaka Raiders were rated as a pretty good chance to get past Royal Osaka Tigers. What happened there?
That was very close match, and Royal Osaka Tigers, who we're seeing today, obviously a very good team, but Osaka Raiders, yes, they've got a lot of the national players from the Japan national team, and some big names in that team. Certainly in that match, both teams scored just short of 150 runs. So Royal Osaka Tigers, 149 for 3. Osaka Raiders, 147 for 7. And there was some impressive batting. Royal Osaka Tigers just managed to get ahead and defeat Osaka Raiders. Looking actually at the Osaka Raiders team, the batsman who's in the national team, Sato Wada, he was actually number 2 in the ranking, the batting rankings for this year, the league season.
Yes, Benzo Wada, 164 runs this season. And we saw him out in the middle pre-match giving a cricket demonstration. He almost took out a few of the spectators as well, Alan.
I thought probably 10 of the spectators all in one hit were going to get injured and taken off in ambulances to the hospital. It was quite funny to watch Wada-san, but it just shows he's second in the ranking for this year. He almost single-handedly helped them in their matches towards the end of the season, and he certainly is a star player. I hope that in the national team we see him more and more scoring runs and help Japan for their wins.
As Krishnan just turned one off his pads for 4 runs. Nice shot.
That's a low, half chance to the bowler, probably not really a one you'd expect him to take.
The other star player for the Raiders, Makoto Taniyama, the premier leg spinner in Japan.
That's right. He was also ranked number 2 in the season, and he came down from Tokyo for the matches. So it was quite good to see him coming down, interacting with the other players, giving them some of his experience that he's had, and he's played some quite big matches for the national team as well, hasn't he?
Well, that's right. I mean, fantastic person and fantastic player. He was travelling from Tokyo, where he's now based, an Osaka boy, but playing for the Osaka Raiders in the Japan Cup. And 11 wickets this season at an average of 9. Is too hot to handle for a lot of the Kansai batsmen this year.
We don't see a lot of leg spin in Kansai. There are some players, pitches and some of the grounds we've been playing on, we tend to have more fast bowlers. I think with this Kaizaka City field that we now have for cricket, we may see some more spinners come out, both off spin and leg spin, and start to enjoy their cricket as well.
Yeah, having decent-sized boundaries certainly helps the spinners, doesn't it? It's always a bit of a nightmare coming on to bowl your first ball as a spinner and just looking at those short boundaries.
That's another good hit, but it's just short of the fielder. It never really had the power to get over the ropes, but he was fortunate it didn't have that power because it pulled up short of the fielder.
We're into the last 6 overs now, and the Royal Tigers would be hoping to finish, probably looking at going at 10s for the final few overs and getting up somewhere around that 140 we were talking about. as Sunny Singh just scoops another one off the pads for 4 runs. He looks strong on that leg stump, doesn't he?
He does, definitely a favoured shot. And at the moment, they're certainly picking up the bat balls and putting them away, but I think they're trying to hit anything at the moment. They'll have calculated in their minds what they want. They'll know there's not many overs left. Plenty of batsmen left in the sheds. They'll be trying to hit more and more boundaries. Here's another chance, close call. And the umpire has given him out. That certainly looked good.
Just not much of a celebration there. I assumed it was not out. But umpire Silver was pretty confident in the decision.
Just watching the replay now, and the ball, the height was good, I think, there. We're looking at it from behind the stumps, obviously, but certainly the umpire has the best view, and he has given him out.
He certainly has a better view than us. We're on a little bit of an angle. I thought the batsman, Sunny Singh, might have just got himself outside the line, but umpire Silver adjudicated that one was hit him in line and was just clipping the top of that off stump.
So with the 4th wicket down for now 92 runs. And this will be interesting with the new batsman coming in, given there's not many overs left. Let's see what he has to do. Good
high in the
strong.
air. This will be caught. Oh, dropped.
So a little bit untidy here. Corbeil Hawks keeper's done a great job. The rest of the field is just a little bit untidy as we're coming to the back end of the innings. I don't think Corbeil Hawks are going to mind too much. With only 120 on the board, I think they're going to feel rather comfortable. It's certainly going to be interesting when Corbeil do come to bat to see whether they can chase these down or whether they may have trouble on this wicket as well. And here's the keeper again. Is that 5 wickets for the keeper?
5 dismissals for the keeper, Subhan Arshad. What a performance.
The keeper's going to be on the honour board today.
Now, going back to that first wicket of the match, the run out, had to take it on the half volley stretch and then dislodge the bails with one hand, and that really set the tone of the match for the Corbeil Hawks.
Absolutely. I think every time that we had seen the keeper get involved in the game, it was a critical change in the game. We just saw that Corbeil were getting further and further into the opposition's batsmen, and as we've come to the end of this game, we can see they ran out of firepower towards the end and they weren't able to connect. We're going to have a 10-minute break here between the innings, and we'll just get the official score from the scorer. I think towards the end there it was probably 121, but we'll just wait for the official score to come in and then update you on exactly what Corbeil Hawks will need to try and chase. It could be difficult for Corbeil. Looking at the matches we've had so far, I would say Corbeil have a good chance. They certainly have a lot of good batsmen. However, it's an unknown, this wicket. Neither team had played here before today, and as we saw some of the batsmen struggling when the ball was pitched in short, we may see the Corbeil Hawks batsmen also struggle. It will be interesting to see how they come out and play in their innings.
Well, they're going to have to bowl exceptionally well and probably hold all of their catches as well, Royal Osaka Tigers. I just don't think they've got enough runs on the board.
I think they're short of runs. I think 160 was needed. Having said that, if Royal Osaka can come out and have a wicketkeeper who plays as the Corbeil Hawks wicketkeeper played, Could they perhaps steal the match away with a wicket-keeping display as good as Corbeil Hawkes showed us? It could be the day of the wicket-keepers. As we're talking about the wicket-keepers, we see a few of these replays now, and that run-out where he underarmed, cool as a cucumber really, underarming the ball into the stumps.
Looking forward to seeing a couple of these Corbeil Hawkes batsmen. Umar Malik is the leading run scorer in Kansai this year, averaging 68 with a healthy strike rate of exactly 200.
You can't really go past a 200 strike rate in this game. It's something that everyone would like to achieve.
It's always a little bit harder in a final, though, isn't it? The nerves. It's a cricket wicket that he hasn't batted on before. Probably the best bowling lineup, you'd have to say, from Kansai this year, the Royal Osaka Tigers. So it's not easy in a final. Cricket's a funny game.
It's certainly not, and we've played, teams have both played in the league stage. They know each other very well. They have some practice games. But when you turn up in a final and you've got to actually deliver, it certainly will be interesting to see whether Corbeil Hawkes can do that.
How much runs did you score?
हल्दी कितनी उम्र से जीवित है?
मैं 16 साल की उम्र का है। From when
हिंदी 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 नो 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 वन बाय वन कैसे बोलेंगे 3 विकेट्स बाद हाँ when they were I don't understand English. What's the meaning of when they sub
good player.
What is the good player? What's the Hindi of good player? Sarati? Good player. He's batting with his stomach, not stomach, belly, goal belly, na?
Get a sucker ball now. I don't care. Get it. I'll go with you. Why? For what? Because you're not running.
We'll win the match.
Daddy, run like him.
Then don't let daddy eat lots of fatty products.
Daddy, practice. Daddy, practice doing this. Practice. Soccer ball. Okay,
It's good to be back with you as we start the second innings here. It's 120 was the official score for Royal Osaka Tigers. Kobe Hawks will be looking to chase that down. And I've got with me on commentary at the moment Alan Kerr. He's one of the managers in the Japan Cricket Association. He's come down from Sano just for this game today. Thanks, Alan, for joining us.
Thank you, Alan. This is going to confuse our listeners, isn't it? A couple of Allans. Don't get that very often in Japan.
One Alan to another Alan, absolutely.
We started with wide there.
That looked to have some good pace on it. Certainly was wide, but I like the pace.
Yeah, it looks like he means business. Well, they're going to have to get their radars firmly adjusted to defend the score of 120. But excited to see how this goes.
Absolutely.
Now, Alan, you're the Kansai cricket expert. Over the course of the season, have you seen much of these guys?
I'm not sure we have many experts down here, to be honest, Alan, but I have seen both these teams play quite a bit. They both are very strong in the batting department. Perhaps Kobe Hawks may have a slight edge over Royal Osaka Tigers, but on any day, you don't know which team is going to win. So we see the next ball.
Wide again.
So just needs to get his radar more in line here. There's still some good pace. The batsman doesn't look that confident, albeit when the wides are going past you don't have to worry too much.
So what about this ground then, Alan? You've been involved with cricket in Kansai for many years now, and what does it mean to you to have a facility like this to play at?
Just watch this, and that's a catch.
Unbelievable.
So I don't think the batsman can quite believe it himself. He's had two wides, and then he's edged one straight down the throat of the fielder.
Called it third man, first legal delivery of the innings.
Unbelievable.
That is quite something.
So we're watching that on the replay now, and he takes quite a good swing. He probably
pretty
thought
wide again.
He may have thought that was going for a six, you know. He clipped that away, and probably he's disappointed right now, but it wasn't the shot to play at the beginning of the innings. They're only chasing 121 to win.
It's certainly given the boost to the Royal Osaka Tigers, isn't it? It's exactly what they wanted.
That's totally changed the match right here. I think Royal Osaka Tigers may have come in thinking they would have a hard time, and that wicket has probably lifted them totally. Let's see, and that was close.
Seems to have picked up the bowler's morale, and he's got that radar targeting where it should be.
I think he's beating the batsman for pace here, and the first two balls were wide and the batsman didn't have to hit, obviously, but I just don't think they've adjusted to the pace yet. The batsmen need to really get behind these fast deliveries. Let's see what we've got. And another one with no connection.
And another wide. I was watching the first innings, and there seemed to be quite a lot of decent bounce in this pitch. Certainly a few going over up and around head height for some of the batsmen. I was rather surprised to see one of the guys come out without a helmet on.
That's right, and you are just talking about the type of pitches we normally play on and what this ground means. Should we just watch this next ball? Quite a bit fuller, and
that's beaten the
so
settling for the single.
Yes, the outfield's just a little bit slow. The grass is not cut super super thin, but just a single there. So this ground is quite different to the normal ones we play on. Kaisuka City have built this ground specifically for the cricketing communities to come out here. It's a drone park as well as the cricket, but it's a specialist cricket field. So we just watch this next ball. And he's
having a nibble.
almost trying to edge it to the keeper. It's a slight shout, but they never actually thought he would have hit that. So this ground means a lot to the cricketing community here in Kansai. We've been playing on really temporary pitches, gravel grounds, grounds not as big as this. And we've had some very good matches, but we have been waiting and waiting to be able to play on a pitch as wonderful as this. Let's just see what another. Oh, so this is a great first over, you'd have to say.
It's been eventful, hasn't it?
I really don't think they mind those wides at all, because with the wicket being taken and all these chances being created.
You feel they've probably got to bowl the team out, don't you? The Hawks are going to swing pretty hard. I don't think they're going to die wondering in this final.
Another nibble. It almost seems as if Hawks have come out thinking they'll finish this in the first 10 overs rather than use their allotted 20.
Absolutely.
So we're just...
This bowler is Umang Joshi. And I'll tell you what, he's been eating plenty of udon, apparently. That's his favourite Japanese food. And that's what's fired him up to get that... get in amongst the wickets in the first over.
Yes, he's played 5 matches this season and he's taken 6 wickets, which is not bad. But not a leading wicket taker. Having just seen that first over from him here today in the finals, I'm surprised he didn't take more wickets in the league stage.
So just going back to Kansai cricket, Alan, you've got 7 teams?
That's
right?
correct.
8 teams? 8 teams.
We have 8 teams. 1 team didn't play this year due to some of the restrictions with COVID, but we have 7 teams playing. And there have been some very good matches, as I said, gravel grounds and some temporary pitches, but very good matches.
Do you feel the standards on the rise down here in Kansai?
Absolutely. We have some very good Japanese players down here. Some of the Japan national team players play in this area. We have Taniyama-san, who's been playing with us, leg spinner.
Yeah, he's come back, I see, to play for his home, in his home region, which is great to see, actually.
Absolutely. We were talking in the first innings that Taniyama actually is the 2nd leading wicket taker this season and has been doing very well.
Yeah. Daichi Moriyama, the leading wicket taker. Look at that. So 2 Japanese players at the top of that list, which is great to see.
Absolutely.
And Akira Kurobayashi in the top 6th place in the leading run scorers. So
yes.
Yeah, the Japanese guys are amongst it. None on display today, but I sense that with this ground being here, the opportunities for players to train, get higher quality of matches, it can only help lift the standard further, can it?
Absolutely. Taniyama-san and Wada-san, who we were talking about, both play for Osaka Raiders. They narrowly missed out on the final that we're having today. In their qualification game, they were just narrowly beaten, but certainly very strong cricketers, strong team. As we see the batsman wrapped on the pad.
Looks a bit high from here. Have a look at this replay.
No interest there from the umpire. So we have some solid teams such as Osaka Raiders. We also have some other Japanese players in the Keihan Blaze team. Some of the university players in there.
Anyone coming through that we should be paying attention to? We've got Dougal sat in the back of the commentary box. He's still involved in national team selection. Is there anyone he should be, paying specific eyes on?
There's quite a number of players coming through at the moment in the university leagues. Ryukoku University, who only just started up their team a number of years ago. They've been coming up through the ranks and with a #1 team this year. I'm sure that Dougal probably will have to start making many visits down to Kansai to come and have a look at these players. And perhaps here in Kaisuka, the Kaisuka cricket field, we may see Dougal as a regular every weekend, coming down and scouting the new players.
I think his club, the Chiba Sharks, might have something to say about that.
We might have to move the Chiba Sharks down here if that's a problem.
Kaisuka Sharks. I wonder.
Yes. at the very minimum, perhaps we can get the Chiba Sharks to come down and have a game against us.
Well, that's what I was going to suggest. I mean, it seems like a really great opportunity to invite some of those Tokyo-based clubs to come down and experience the ground here and to have a little bit of a tour. I know that in this time of restricted travel, people are looking to get out and explore more of Japan, which has been great, particularly with the Go-To campaign on, and who knows what next year's international travel is going to look like. But with a place to play here now that's of a great standard, I think you might well be able to attract a few touring teams down.
Absolutely, that would be very good to see. And currently, Kansai teams have been watching the live streams out of Sano with the JPL, and we've watched a number of the Chiba Sharks players, Marcus Thurgate and Neil. I've been watching Sadiq and various other Chiba Sharks players who are very, very high standard, and we'd certainly like to invite them down here, but perhaps also we'd like to start seeing the players up in Chiba as we watch the next ball whipped away.
It's that third man area again. Runs off the bat, which we haven't seen too many of so far.
Yes, we'd like to start seeing the players in Chiba and Sano starting to watch the games here in Kansai. It would be great if we can be streaming more and more games from Kaizaka Field.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been very impressed with the quality of the camera work and the replays, and the setup down here is fantastic. And of course, Alan, I'm totally blown over by the standard of the commentary.
Well, we're running today two separate commentaries. We have the English commentary ourselves. You've got the combination of Alan and Alan right now. Obviously, we had Dougal on earlier. And on the Japanese commentary, I understand they have a team of 3 at the moment. And that has been going very well also.
I believe I saw young Naoki Okamoto in the commentary box over there.
That's right. So Naoki is currently in junior high school, but he's been playing for the Shiga Cricket Club. And unfortunately, Shiga have been sitting out this year due to COVID, but they'll be back next year. Shiga actually won the Japan Cup Kansai finals last year against Kobe Hawks, and Naoki played in that match.
Did he really? So, shame to not see him out here today. But he's a player that I'm sure Dougal, as head coach of the Japan National Academy side, would be interested in having a look at. I think I heard Dougal mention to you Simon Dart has been appointed our new high performance manager. Simon played for Australia under-19s back in the late 90s, and has an outstanding record in club cricket in Melbourne, and has also played state cricket for Victoria. So he's going to be a great addition to the Japan Cricket Association as our high performance manager, and he'll be taking over as head coach of the men's and the women's teams. But the national team, national coaching team is growing. Dougal with the academy, Bebe Miyagi with the women as assistant coach, and Simon, and hoping to do more coach education courses as well, which I'm sure would be welcome down here. It's great to see those players that you mentioned coming through the uni programs, but any coaching support that the JCA can offer will hopefully continue to boost those standards.
Sure, that would be wonderful to see as we're just watching on the replay here. It's whipped away just over the top of slip for 4 runs.
Third man seems to be the favourite area, doesn't it?
It certainly does. A little bit streaky there from Kobe, and Royal Osaka Tigers just trying perhaps hard to get another wicket. I certainly think if they don't take wickets, they can't win this match. So every chance they create is another opportunity for them to try and win. That's straight pitched up, just the 1 run. Yes, getting back to the coaching side, it certainly is great to see that in Japan we're not just playing cricket, but we're also lifting the standard with the coaching that's going on. The under-19 team you mentioned, the men's under-19, or the boys under-19 last year, getting across to South Africa, that was wonderful to see.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I went over there as team manager, and it was a great experience for the boys. It really showed what opportunities that cricket can give for Japanese players. I think, the JCA strategy has been saying for the last 5 years that we want to achieve things that people hadn't previously thought possible. And I think at the start of that strategy, if you'd said that our under-19 team would be playing in the World Cup against India, people would have laughed. So it's amazing how things can be achieved with a bit of direction and a strong level of commitment. And hopefully the under-19 qualifiers will run again next year, and Japan will have another crack at it and make it to the next tournament, which I believe is in the West Indies.
West Indies, I'm sure there'll be many Japanese players at the moment getting ready, hoping that they can qualify and travel across to the West Indies for that tournament.
I think I'll probably be putting myself forward as team manager again for that one.
Great idea.
I'm pretty fond of Barbados, having spent some time there in the 2007 Cricket World Cup. It's a wonderful place to watch cricket.
Well, there's no better place to go than the West Indies if you want to find some of the world's best fast bowlers and some very entertaining batsmen as well.
So dealing largely in singles here, aren't they? They're getting bat on ball a bit more regularly now. Certainly in those opening exchanges, there was a lot of swings and misses, but I think these two are starting to get their eye in, and we're seeing the odd singles being taken, and I think it's going to be sensible to take a more steady approach rather than looking for the boundary every ball. Got themselves up to 14 now, and this the third over?
Third over.
Fourth over.
We're now in. I think that early wicket may have just slightly scared the batsman. They may have made the batsman think, just be a little bit more cautious about this. It's not a big target they're trying to chase, but they still need to get the runs. 121 to win.
It's an awkward target, isn't it? I mean, it's not a low target and it's not a high target, and it makes you think as a batting side, yep, we can do this. And then you lose that early wicket, and suddenly people can go into their shells quite quickly, can't they? Especially in a final.
They certainly can.
Straight to the fielder. No run there. It's a matter of time to see what will give first, whether the batsman's patience will give, or whether the bowler will start trying to do something different. I think the bowler just needs to stick with what they're doing at the moment, don't you?
I think that's very true. The bowlers just keep these lines, keep the length. A chance will come.
Looked like the batsman tried to go over the top there. Still in the power play, so only two men outside, but he didn't connect with that one, and it fell between the two fielders on the leg side. Could easily have been snaffled up.
If Royal Osaka Tigers continue with their current bowling strategy, the interesting part will be when perhaps a spinner is introduced, and we'll see whether Kobe Hawks have a different strategy to try and pile on some runs.
That seemed to be the key stage in the first innings. The spinner did go for a few. There was an enormous six that ended up, cleared the tents over on the leg side and into the car park. So yes, I think perhaps not a huge amount of turn in this pitch, and that may be where more boundary opportunities come.
Batsmen just having a chat there in the middle as we have the change of overs, perhaps talking strategy, maybe confirming the score. I don't think they'd be too disappointed at the moment. The early wicket was probably a surprise, but 15 runs after the end of 5 overs, you wouldn't want to calculate that out totally to the 20 and say you're only going to make 60 runs.
No, their run rate is on the low side, I believe. And,
there's a chance here.
Be out.
That's a wicket.
So they're digging themselves into a bit of a hole here, the Kobe Hawks. 15 for 2 with 5 overs gone. The Royal Osaka Tigers, I believe, were 25 for 3 so with this the last over in this power play, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they approach the second part of the innings, because wickets falling, no one's looking comfortable.
With this wicket being taken, I'm going to take the opportunity to change the commentary. I'm going to step out of commentary and Dougal Bedingfield, the wonderful Dougal Bedingfield, is going to come into the commentary box to share with Alan Kerr.
Dougal's just been munching on a katsu sandwich for his lunch. How was that, Dougal?
Not a bad Family Mart tonkatsu sandwich.
Fantastic. Good old Family Mart. Yep, sorted me out today with the bento as well. They are the local shop down here, about a 10-minute walk away. I'm sure they're going to do lots of business through cricket over the next few years.
Yeah, but don't worry about that. There's game on here at the Kaizuka cricket field.
You're right. It is game on. What's your take on this then, Dukes? We said at the break, I heard you guys discussing that you thought 120 wasn't enough, but here we are, 5 overs gone, just 15 runs and 2 wickets down. It's been a tough start for the Hawks.
Well, where is this explosive Kobe Hawks top order that I've heard all about? I think they've just gone into their shells today.
Looking at these strike rates, and there's not many below 100, and yet today, striking at 50.
Of Umair Zulfikar at the crease here.
So he has a strike rate of 144 this season. His third leading run scorer. So perhaps something might start. I reckon they want to get through this over, finish the power play.
Well, we've got an Umair and an Umar. As Umar Malik comes to the crease at number 4.
It's almost as tricky as having Alan and Alan in the commentary box. Let's see, is that going to run away? He's going to cut that off. It is, as you said before, play Dougal. Fairly slow outfield here. The grass is pretty thick. My understanding is they have a handheld mower just 50 centimeters wide to cut the grass. That's going to take some work, isn't it?
As I understand it, that's currently what's in action. And, well,
it's a labour of love, mowing a cricket ground, that's for sure. The number 1 groundsman in Japan, Yoshitaka Uehara, has been putting a fair bit of work into the Sano International Ground and the other grounds at the Watarase River, but he has the luxury of several mowing machines and assistants. He's been using interns, he's got Shu. The guys down here...
I'm not sure he does any work at all.
No, I think he spends most of his time working on his videos.
That was a beautiful ball to finish the over there. Wasn't from Alok Pandey, the medium pacer.
Looks like a change of bowling here. After Abhinav Mahajan is going to come on.
I think that's officially the end of the power play as well. 6 overs with the score on just 2 for 18.
I'm not entirely sure, Dougal, that our score's correct, because the first over was from the far end.
No, that's a very good point, Alan.
I'll be having a check at the Cricket HQ score, but what we do know is it's 19 for 2. I'm wondering if this is in fact the 6th over, not 6 overs finished, as our TV screen will tell us.
Abhinav Mahajan is coming in to bowl some pretty gentle medium pace. Looks like a line and length bowler.
Been pretty accurate so far though, which is definitely what was needed after a few extras given away in those early overs. From where we're sitting, we're getting a very good look at the soles of his shoes, which are decidedly bright orange. Can't miss him as he runs in.
He's suggesting that's a tactic to distract the batsman.
Perhaps the non-striking batsman. I know, he needs to really distract the facing batsman. He's really going to have to kick his feet forward. I think that's pretty difficult. It's distracting me. It's a solid shot. Oh, that's going to run to the boundary. Some fancy footwork, but it didn't quite do enough. He's actually really just taken that round the goalkeeper almost. And it's a long-awaited boundary for the Kobe Hawks.
Well, speaking of footwork, I think we've seen a little bit too much footwork today. We're playing cricket here, not football, surely.
Well, the tone was set in the exhibition prior to the start of play when Soto Wada decided to bomb one of the shots, one of the deliveries into the crowd and hit a poor spectating gentleman on the ankle and send him down. And ever since then, the ankle has been in use fairly regularly. Now, you wouldn't have that on one of your teams, would you, do?
No, I think you'd have a pretty grumpy coach on your hands with the amount of footwork we're seeing today. On this beautiful, soft outfield, you can really throw yourself at these balls. And
there hasn't been a lot of diving. I did see one batsman dive and he to make his ground. But I also saw one batsman not even ground his bat. So I think those basics, the real coachable basics, could make a decided difference. Everybody loves a dive, don't they?
Not everyone, it seems.
I've seen you take the odd diving catch. Japan Cup finals a couple of years ago, I seem to remember one, which lives long in the memory. I'm meaning to ask you, Dougal, you were complaining yesterday about the state of your back. How have you pulled up this morning? You certainly weren't going to be taking any diving catches yesterday.
No. I'm decidedly sore at the moment. I think an old age-related back problem. And
comes to us
certainly won't be diving anywhere anytime soon.
Another push into the offside, and that's going to be one. They're not sprinting the single there, not putting too much pressure on the fielder. Content to take one after those 2 wickets inside the power play. They're really just looking to knock the ball around a bit now. Still a lot of gaps out there though, and you're going to need to get aggressive at some point. Again, similar, just pushed into the offside. It may run all the way, that. No, it's going to be cut off, and they will get 2 this time. Underarmed back from the boundary.
You just sense that the Cobo Hawks are not worried in the slightest about having to chase it 8 to 10 and over.
With the firepower still in the hutch, you suspect that just takes one batsman to really get away, doesn't it? And this target can come down pretty quickly.
Sabas.
Plenty of excitement out in the middle there, but nothing happening really with that delivery.
They're certainly very animated and energetic, the Royal Osaka Tigers fielders. They're up and about today.
I'd expect nothing less. That was dispatched.
It's nicely sliced, you would say, over the offside field by Umair Zulfikar. Picks up 4 runs.
Just wondering, Dougal, if you've been directing any of our listeners to our social media platforms, our Instagram page, Facebook page, Twitter account. They're all places where you can follow Japan Cricket. We have been working specifically around the hashtag Japan Cricket, so feel free, if you're a Twitter user especially, to tweet us at Japan Cricket and ask us any questions, tell us about your thoughts of this game, or really just discuss cricket in Japan in general. And really couldn't have 2 better people to answer those questions, could you, Dougal?
Well, we're definitely interested to hear from people, not just in Japan, but all over the world.
Absolutely. Potential visitors, particularly. Anyone who might like to come and get a game in Japan, do get in touch.
Oh, that's going to go all the way, I think. Just clears that long on rope.
That is the first maximum of the innings.
And Umar Malik, the leading run scorer in the Kansai tournament, taking his time, but just chipped that nicely.
Well, he doesn't want his season strike rate to fall below 200, does he? So he's going to need a couple more of those. Picked up the length very quickly, and that is straight out the middle.
Yeah, just an easy swing of the bat, and that looks like a big bat that he's got in his hand too. Probably doesn't need to swing it that hard.
So what do you think, Du? Well, both these teams are going to be travelling up to Sano next weekend for the Japan Cup finals. How do you think they'll fare?
I think they'll go well, both teams. We probably didn't see the best of the Royal Tigers batting earlier today, but they look like a well-organised bowling and fielding team. Kobe Hawks, we know about how much talent they have in their top order. And I think Zulfika's just been hit on the gloves there.
Might be a bit sore. They seem to be happy enough to get some water on. Going to have a little break in play.
Just surprised him there, Mahajan, with the ball that climbed steeply up a good length.
It's good to see the Osaka players going to check he's all right. Seem to be genuinely concerned rather than having a bit of a word.
Oh,
And it's right on the hand, isn't it? There's a fair bit of padding on those gloves. I should think he shouldn't be hurt too badly.
Hit him flush,
Flush on the
right
hand.
on the glove. Wasn't just a glancing blow. That hit him straight on the hand. That can be very
thudded.
painful.
Thudded, I think is the word I'd use. Well, he's getting back onto his feet now, and looks like he's going to resume without too much further ado.
I always think these batsmen are brave walking out with just a cap on. You never know. Delivery might
We were discussing that earlier.
hit a sweet spot on the pitch and just kick up a little bit, and then
It looked pretty bouncy in that first innings.
it's getting good bounce, this pitch. I like it.
And you wouldn't see me batting without a helmet. But they obviously have faith in their hand-eye coordination. They're not too worried about a blow to the head. They'll just stick with using their bats, do.
No, I don't think they're lacking in confidence, Umair and Umar.
Umair and Umar. Yeah, they have certainly picked things up, these two. Taking the score on to 39. So that's a partnership now as they run through another. That's going to take the partnership to 25. And starting to just see that that target reduce. Confidence will be growing among the Hawks, I'm sure.
Yeah, they look a little bit more relaxed in the sheds now.
Certainly a bit wobbly start. And the Royal Osaka Tigers were up and about a bit in those opening exchanges, but these two just blunting that. Another look on the replay of that blow to the hand.
Yeah, I think they've got the chase well under control. Be interesting to see whether the Royal Tigers go to spin soon.
Yes.
We're almost entering the halfway mark of the chase.
That's nice to run down to third man. Yeah, they're looking pretty comfortable. Certainly the opening bowler had a bit of pace about him, but since then it's been fairly gentle, nagging medium pace. Nothing to really frighten anyone, hence the lack of helmets, I suspect. It's paddled into the leg side. I'll take another single. The square leg comes around to cut that off. And they're just eating away at that target. Easy singles, regularly being picked up. That one's just dropped into the offside, and these guys seem to have quite a good understanding as they running between the wickets has significantly improved. Early on there was quite a few singles left out there, I think, but now these two are rotating the strike regularly and putting away whatever bad balls come. So
I think they've just dropped a little bit too deep in the ring here, the
does seem like they're
Royal
right
Tigers,
back.
allowing easy ones.
Ooh.
And the way to put pressure on the batting team is by racking up these dot balls. Initially when I arrived, there was probably a little bit of a divide between what you'd call expat teams, university teams.
That is going to be 6.
That's well hit.
That is going to go into the bushes, and they're going to need a new ball, I suspect.
That's going to take some finding.
That is going to take some finding. Lost ball yet. That might be the first. Another landmark moment. First lost ball. A few guys trundling over to try and find it. I'm not sure you're going to get that one back.
There's a bit of a natural barrier there, about 10 to 15 meters past the boundary, but it's cleared that, unfortunately.
How's another look at it on the replay? I mean, that is some thick undergrowth. Fall in love with an orangutan in there.
Groups, clubs. We now have about 5 university teams and 7 senior clubs in the Japan Cup. Still have those junior teams. I think this ground here, the Kaisuke cricket field, is really going to tie everything together. I just see cricket in Kansai developing in leaps and bounds.
From an operations point of view, it really is one of the good news stories, I think, of the last 6-7 years. You and I both arrived at the JCA in early 2014, and seeing where this region's come on and the leadership that the people in the organisation have taken on to try and develop the area into a real hub for cricket. I think it's fantastic, and there's some key people to probably mention.
I think Yoshinaka Sensei from the Kyoto Gakuen University has been the head of the board of directors for Kansai Cricket for Ellen Marjorieson, who has been on commentary for much of the afternoon, has done a wonderful job, I think, leading the Japan Cup committee. He's done a number of things.
And I suppose we can't ignore Nishiwaki Sensei as well, who's produced so many of those Japan national team players through his program at Uenomiya.
Just recently, young Yuto Sato has done a wonderful job. He's behind much of the organisation of today's match.
Yeah, this is really his show, isn't it?
He, of course, is a student.
Total with time to spare. He may be behind the required rate at the moment, but I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. It's just they're making up ground from a particular start. But with the spinners on, I reckon these guys are going to be eyeing up some boundaries. Intent straight away. Singles from each of the first 2 balls of the over.
Fairly gentle off breaks. Too much air. Doesn't want to give Kobe Hawks batsmen room to free their arms.
Floated that one up.
This is going to be caught.
Going to be caught. Well, here we go. Suddenly, the cat is among the pigeons.
I think it was the captain, Kunwa Mahenda, who took the catch.
Bowling change has worked. Partnership is broken. 3 down now, the Hawks. And it seems, from what we've seen today, that actually getting in hasn't been that easy. No one's come out and scored. It's not done yet.
It's just saying that the spinner hadn't been giving it much air. And
striking some big 6s. Let's see how he approaches this. Fairly timid start. Just nudging that into the leg side. No run taken.
Turning out to be a useful over.
It is. 2 from it so far, and the wicket. 4 balls gone. Well, it's a cautious start from Mr. Abassi. What do you reckon? How long can he remain patient?
I think he's just about ready to go.
I reckon that might be it.
No. No, he's going to pick up a wide though.
3 runs. Look at this crowd, Dougal. There's a fair few people here today. I've been impressed. They're sticking around too, watching the game. A few kids. Saw a few kids swinging plastic bats and trying out the sport. And Japanese commentary, just helping educate people on the game. It's great to see, isn't it?
There's been a good mix of young kids, cricket fans from around the region, and also plenty of Kaizuka City officials who've played a big role in the development of this ground. Great to see them here.
Absolutely, and we've had people from various embassies and consulates. I spent first innings chatting with Sarah Wooden, who's the British Consul General. That's why I wasn't able to help you out in the first innings too, so apologies for that. But yeah, great to see the local governments from the cricket playing nations all getting involved and supporting this. Sarah travelled about an hour and a half, she said, to get here today. So it's obviously something that people feel is a major moment in the sporting landscape of this region.
Well, it's the new home of cricket in West Japan, isn't it?
Absolutely. We've talked about, Alan and I were talking whilst you were munching on your lunch, that inviting a few clubs down here, Tokyo-based clubs, to come and play some matches. I think these guys would all be delighted, and I'm sure in Japan Cup finals maybe there'll be some challenges administered. The Chiba Sharks, Dukes. Alan was very keen to get the Chiba Sharks down here for a game. You fancy a little, perhaps a pre-season? Oh, hello. Oh, he's picked up a great catch. He has picked up on the mid-wicket boundary. Another wicket goes. That's both men from that partnership gone. 4 down now, the Kobe Hawks, and trouble is abounding. It's a slog sweep, connected with it beautifully, but he literally could not have hit it.
Sunny Singh on to bowl
fielder.
leg breaks. Big swing first ball, and Marjan's taken a screamer.
He's enjoying it too. Applause on the boundary. Acknowledges that with a wave. Thumbs in the air. Right, 55 for 4. Goodness me. The spin has totally changed this game. And there we were thinking the spin would be the scoring opportunities. I think the Hawks were thinking that too. Instead, it's bringing the wickets. Goodness me.
It's a pretty handy leg spin.
That is. It's squared them up nicely.
Looks like a useful cricketer, Sunny Singh.
He picked up a few runs in the competition as well. Averaged about in the mid-20s. That is a very similar shot to which saw the downfall of Zulfikar shortly a few balls ago, but didn't connect quite as cleanly. Gathered and returned, just a single. Now, Dougal, we were just discussing the prospect of a tour. Pre-season in
I can say that the
Kaizuka?
Chiba Sharks would jump at the opportunity to come down here for a game of cricket.
I bet they would.
Yourself.
I bet they would.
I think many clubs would be thinking the same thing.
And particularly the Chiba Sharks, based around Narita, and just hop on a domestic flight, be here in no time. Straight into the international airport, which is just a stone's throw away.
Well, the cities in Japan are very well connected by the Shinkansen, the fast trains, but they're quite expensive.
They are.
So flying is
we
actually a
found
lot
yesterday.
cheaper.
Fly for less than half the price than the bullet train.
Now, cities of cricket: Sammu near Narita Airport, the biggest airport in Japan. Kaizuka near Kansai Airport. That might be the way to go.
I would say so. Oh, big swing. Oh, just one bounce out to the fielder on the extra cover boundary. And I think that completes the over. That's a pretty handy over, I'd say. Well, would you believe it that just approaching our commentary box is one Aki Umatani, who we haven't seen for a long time. She's pleading shyness and won't come and join us. But we all know that Aki speaks near perfect English. She was one of the youngest players ever to play for the Japan women's team. Debuted under your stewardship, I believe, Dougal.
Yeah, Aki was a star junior cricketer for Uenomia. Made a smooth transition into the women's national team.
And I believe it's been based in Korea for a little while. She nods.
Aki's one of those people who just speak 3 languages without too much of a issue.
Yeah.
Japanese, English, Korean, whatever you like.
Still plenty of time to learn more too. Well, that was a bit of a hack out to deep mid wicket. I don't think earlier on, Dougal, we were saying how comfortable the batsmen looked against the seamers, but it seems completely the opposite now against the spinners. These guys really are trying to fashion a way to score their runs.
That's big.
No, is it far enough? Oh,
Just far enough.
he's got a hand on it. He couldn't keep it in. Well, looks like Abbasi may finally have decided it's time to go.
Good effort by Sunny Singh on the boundary. You can't keep him out of the game. Just had enough legs on it.
Yeah, he just needs to be about a foot taller, didn't he? But with that 6, it just gets the scoring rate going and maybe put some doubts in the bowler's mind. What's he going to do next? Oh, he's tried to go again. I think he's had enough now. Abbasi's decided it's time to go. That run rate creeping up. We might be in for some entertainment.
They're not going to die wondering. The Kobe Hawks middle order. That's up
Another
in the
one
air.
up in the air. It's gone straight up.
Bowler's under.
Oh,
Oh, he hasn't got a hand on it.
well, he's made a bit of a meal of that. But no one really coming in to support him. And it's a chance, but these guys have clearly decided, the Hawks batsmen, the intent has changed completely in this over. Having scratched around a little bit against the first 2 overs of spin, they are now on the attack.
Never quite looked like catching that one. That's up in the air
Another
again.
big
This
swing.
one will be caught.
Surely this time.
Oh!
It bobbled. Needed 2 goes at it. Having missed out on one just the ball before. Immediate chance to reprieve himself, and it's the big man Abbasi who struck that 6 earlier in the over. He's got to go. And I would say now, Dougal, that the Royal Osaka Tigers are very much on top in this game.
It's certainly game on. The asking rate is still only about a run a ball, but
Oh, he has got lucky with that grab. Look at that. Bobbled out of his hands. I thought the wicketkeeper was going to high-five him when he initially made contact with the ball, which would have caused him to actually drop it. Thankfully, restrained himself, the skipper. Catch was grabbed at the 2nd attempt. And well, goodness, what to make of this?
I think we might have a slight injury to the bowler. Didn't quite get that cleanly in the hands, and I
Certainly
think he
didn't.
might
That would have stung a finger.
might be a little bruise or a
Well, umpire's turning
cut
medic here.
fingernail even.
Well, have another look at it.
Ooh, he might have just caught a finger there.
The wicketkeeper actually made to grab it on the 2nd attempt himself, didn't he?
Had a bit of backup there just in case. He
Just in case.
dropped it.
Well, it was the last ball of the over. An eventful over for sure. 6s, wickets, runs, drop catches, caught catches. As I said, Dukes, entertainment is starting
It's
to
all
come.
happening here
Thick
at the
and fast
Kaizuka Cricket Field.
at the KCF.
New batsman Syed Arif Ali. And Sunny Singh to continue his leg breaks.
I like the look of this bowler.
Now, do we have a name for each end of the ground that we can refer to? Is it a north-south at the moment?
Oof. Well, normally you look for distinctive landmarks for an end, and we are here at this ground to have the bushy tree end and the bushy tree end. So
It's not really helping, is it?
Not really helping. Yeah, we're gonna have to put some work into that. Perhaps the Kaizuka mare could lay claim to one end. Perhaps Yoshi Naka-sensei could lay claim to an end.
Are you suggesting we build a couple of stands,
Absolutely.
name them after a significant person in Kansai cricket?
That would be the next step, wouldn't it? He's definitely getting some turn, this guy. He's squaring the batsman up. They've decided after an over and a half of mayhem attacking to go back into their shells again. They're treating him with a fair bit of respect. And at 67 for 5, their options are starting to run out. Oh, another big swing. Smart work by the keeper, but batsman hadn't left his ground, so his
well
keeping
bowled.
wasn't quite on, but it is well bowled. No runs from the 3 balls in this over.
I think he's the key to the Royal Tigers' fortunes here, Sunny Singh. He's bowling well.
Just going to be one down to long on.
Just went with a variation there. I think a bit of a
flatter.
slider. I think he should probably just stick to those big ripping leg breaks.
Batsman didn't know what to do with him, did he? Oh, I reckon that's a fairly
There it is
optimistic
again.
appeal. Keeper was very excited about things, but ended up with extra cover with that appeal. It's an unusual one.
Nice high front arm. Releases it from quite high. Gives it a good rip. Batsman not really near that.
Bowling, Sabas.
That's the end of the 13th over. 68 for 5. So 52 required off 7.
So that's 7 and over, more than 7 and over now.
Just a tick over 7 and over.
Impressed with the camera work today, Dougal. What do you think? It's great to have so many people here out operating the cameras and providing this feed.
Well, we've got a dedicated camera crew, which is a bit of a luxury for us. We're not going to have
Isn't it?
that every weekend, unfortunately, but I think they've done an excellent job.
Giving the third umpire decision review system as well. It's been put into use. Seemed to work pretty smoothly. It's a lot of firsts, not just for Kansai today, but for Japan cricket. You know, dual commentary. We've got our Japanese commentators just across from us, and you know, a game that's is still in the balance.
Well, I have to admit, I was a little bit sceptical of whether the third umpire system would work or not, and it's worked seamlessly on 2 occasions.
It's not like you to be sceptical, Dougal.
Change of bowling here. Devon Cully coming on to bowl. Another medium pacer.
I wonder if that's due to the injury that the previous bowler picked up whilst taking that cord and bowled. It was an eventful over, and when he got the wicket, he thought he might have carried on, but perhaps he's damaged his spinning finger. A good sound off about that one, but it'll be cut off just for...
Oh, no.
Oh,
No.
Goodness me. Well, got away with that.
He might have got away with it, or he might not have.
Oh.
Umpire Silver's called 4.
Umpire is signalling
I think
4
he's
runs.
got that right too. I think there was 1 foot on the ball and 1 foot on the boundary
Well, we
rope.
might get another look at it on the replay here. It's right down by our cameraman, just away to the right for us. He's missed that. Terrific with the camera work.
Was that an initial misfield? Ooh, was there a little touch of the rope there?
I think that's touched the rope. I think that has touched the rope. And it's just rolled back from it.
Well, we're giving that 4 runs from the commentary box.
We are. Let's see. Who's actually making the decisions here? For these? Well, there isn't a dedicated third umpire. And he's poring over this one, trying to make decision. Umpires waiting patiently.
The umpires have done a pretty good job today, I think, Alan.
Yeah, I think so too. They've had a few challenges to deal with, but they've coped very, very well. Nice to see young Mitsuki Nakai out there. He's a former national squad member, and there you go, 4 runs are signalled. Nakai, the only Japanese representative on the field today, but shows that the knowledge of the game is there among the local indigenous population.
Well, there's plenty of ways to get involved in cricket, not just as a player.
As a player, absolutely right. As we know from Sato-san, you mentioned doing a lot of the admin today. Given up his own playing career, or at least put it on hold for the benefit of Kansai cricket. He's run a few junior cricket blast events down in this area as well as Sato, trying to get the 7 to 12-year-olds into the game. Got a little junior club bubbling away.
I think you're a bit hard on Sato in his playing career. He's been turning out for the Kaizuka Agers.
Still turning out for the Agers.
That's up in the air.
I think that's safe.
Safe. And cut off before the rope by Sunny Singh again.
So how's Sato gone this year? You're gonna pull out his statistics for me? I can't see him on my list of run scorers.
I think he's been pretty tidy behind the stumps.
Has he? Still on your radar? With your 2 wicketkeeper spots
Wow.
booked in. Oh, hello. That's gone. And that has gone all the way, I think. Oh, he's signalling 4. Oh, this game continues to seesaw. 80 runs now. Target of 121. 41 runs needed. 5 overs to go.
Some gentle medium pace by Devon Culler there, and I think they've targeted him as the 6th or 7th bowler that they might be able to take down.
I think you're quite right. Just checking our Twitter feed to see if anyone's been reacting to our call, but none yet. I have, however, been contacted by young Toby Cohen at the ICC, who's enjoying this game. Hello, Toby.
And a big hello to everyone at the ICC if you're watching.
Absolutely. Toby's a man who's come over to Japan a couple of times, always enjoys his time here. In fact, Toby was here for the opening of the Kawasaki ground, if I recall. Came to visit that when it was first completed.
He's a good man, Toby. I actually first locked horns with Toby on the football field in Melbourne.
So you did.
We were opponents.
How'd that day go for him? Oh, slashed. 4 through 3rd man. That's into the undergrowth.
Bit of luck there. And when you're 5 wickets down, chasing a low total, you need all the help you can get.
I'm not sure that's where he was aiming, but you'll take him, won't you? So you and Toby on the football field. Did you win that day, Dougal?
Aye, it was a while ago, mate. I can't remember.
Just over point's head. And I'll come back for a second. This is our opening bowler, I believe, and seems to have gone. Most of his runs have seemed to have, the runs that he's conceded seem to have been behind square. Third man has been an expensive area for him.
Just been a little bit wayward, Umang Joshi. Decent pace. He's just offered a little bit too much width. And leaked a few extras as well.
He has. 87 for 5, just 34 now needed. There's one in front of square and another single, not fielded cleanly. And these two are actually putting a bit more pressure on the fielders as they're running. And you think if you'd seen a bit of that earlier in the innings, the score could be considerably further advanced. But getting to it now. Down ball again, hit straight back past the bowler.
I still think the key here is Sunny Singh. He needs to come back on.
I think they're saving him for that. He's got 2 overs left, I think.
He's only got 2 overs left.
Yeah, he's got to come on. Maybe he'll change ends. Almost hit high on the bat. There'll be another single to long off. Looks like over is called. 90 runs on the board, 5 wickets down, the Kobe Hawks. 31 required.
31 on 5 overs, run a ball.
Run rate has come down.
And desperately need a wicket now, the Royal Tigers.
You do feel if they bat the overs, they'll get there.
No question.
Getting questions from young Toby to ask us who our tip to win is. Where's your money, Dougal, at this point? Not that we obviously are allowed to bet on cricket.
So Toby's just contacted me and said that Elsternwick, which is my team, won the match. Thank you, Toby. That was Elsternwick versus Hawthorn in the Victorian Amateur Football League.
Well, there you go. So Hawthorn, who I believe are also the Hawks, were on the losing side that day. So perhaps this will be their turn to get up today.
I think the Kobe Hawks will win.
Yeah,
that's my prediction from here.
We're both going with the Hawks, I think. Been in that camp for most of this this innings. We've got Alan Majerison has returned. He's not really done much commentary in this second innings, so I think it's only right that I step aside and allow him to call the end of this game. Thanks for allowing me to fill your seat, Alan. And thanks to everyone who's been listening to my dulcet tones. And good luck to both teams the rest of this game.
Thank you, Alan. Much appreciate that. And we certainly are coming towards the end of the game at the moment, but which side will win? A little bit of a mix-up, and that's been run out. So very good work by the bowler there. He went flying for a moment, got himself sorted back up, and has run out.
That's an outstanding piece of fielding. I was just about to mention the Royal Tigers captain giving away 4 extras already in the over. He stops the ball. Oh, that's brilliant.
He seemed to be using his left hand, his right hand, maybe his left leg. Every part of his body was coming into action.
Stop with the left hand. Excellent piece of camera work, by the way.
Desperation there, and he's out. Wonderful fielding.
That could be the play of the day.
That could be the win right there. It's always been the case in this match that to get on top, you've got to take wickets, and that wicket may just be a crucial one.
Well, they're into the tail now.
6 down. Are all the big hitters finished, or there are a few left with us still? Got the keeper standing up, collects that ball very cleanly. And that's a valuable single there. No chance to come back for the second, but every run now counts. Every run that Corbett can put back on the board, inching closer to the win.
We have a left-hander at the crease at number 8, Dawood Khan. So a left-armer bowling to a left-handed batsman.
Not a very big change in the field here with the left-hander coming to face. Let's see whether the batsman can find a gap in that field. Oh, and he could be out, it's just fallen short. Chance of a runner, not taken, well backed up. Lots of action here.
They've just drifted it a little bit deep in the infield here, the Royal Tigers. Need to be cutting off those ones and giving themselves every opportunity to take that kind of catch.
What would be your play here, Dougal? We're into the 16th over. There's not that many runs left for Corbett to get. They've shown they can hit big, but you're talking about those singles. That seems to be the key at the moment.
Well, you don't want the opposition team scoring off your good balls, if possible. When you're only defending a runner ball kind of chase, dot balls are crucial.
It's sent back, no run there. So that's a dot ball, that's good news. Royal Osaka Tigers will need a few more dot balls, put the pressure back on Corbett Hawks. And the batsman's able to swing freely up that one. That's a little bit too short. 4 runs. So that was very useful for Corbett Hawks. Last ball of the over to pick up a boundary.
Disappointing there. He bowled a pretty good over, but just the start of the over and the final delivery, he let himself down.
He just needed to finish that one cleanly, didn't he, at the end?
Just need to get yourself out of that over. That's a big boundary, really.
Certainly true in the T20 game. The bowlers, the first ball of the over sets it up for what's coming next. But that last ball, either the batsman feels he didn't take advantage in the over, or he takes a lot of confidence into the next over knowing he's just hit a boundary.
I think we've got the off spinner back on.
Well, this could be interesting.
Now, I'm not sure why Sunny Singh hasn't bowled more overs today. He's looked the pick of the bowlers to me, the leg spinner.
Having played a few matches against Sunny Singh, Dougal, I can certainly say he's a very hard bowler to pick. He has a good roller as well, and very difficult to know how far his leg spins are going to spin when they actually come down the wicket.
The only thing I can think of is they fancy the off spinner bowling to the left-hander. I just think you've got to get your best bowlers on.
This over could be a turning point. You'd be going with pace, would you here, Dougal, or do you prefer the leg spinner? That looked fairly tame coming down the wicket, but the batsman didn't seem to know what to do with it.
I think pace or spin, whatever it is, just get your best bowlers on at this point in the game.
The batsman, to me, he looks like he's setting up for a big hit. See what he can do. Well, he's picked out the fielder, a little bit unlucky perhaps. But single is another run towards the total.
There's one fielder there on the rope, covering about 100 metres of rope, and he's hit it straight to him.
He looks very lonely out there, doesn't he, all by himself? And the ball traced right to him. Change the field now for the right-handed batsman. This will be... Just a single again. The fielders are very deep. That was an easy single.
Just need to make sure that they get these fields right. That's a poor delivery.
That could be 2 runs here, I think. Batsmen are going to get back. And that's not what they needed at this stage of the game.
3 free runs.
It looks at the moment, unless we get a couple more wickets for Royal Osaka Tigers, it looks like Kobe Hawks are just slowly getting their total up to the 121 they require for the win.
Just needs to not panic here, the Royal Tigers captain. Realised he had 6 men outside the circle. Brings in the point fielder.
A little bit of a mix-up at their back behind the crease. That's safe. No need to do anything silly here. That's a dot ball. That's valuable at this stage.
Talked about finishing overs well. Another dot would be exactly what the Osaka Royal Tigers require. Well bowled.
That's a good finish to the over. Dot ball, hand it to somebody else, see what they can do. We're definitely getting down to the business end of the match at the moment. We should remember Kobe Hawks were the runners-up last year in the finals. They had been the strongest team throughout the league, as they have this time. They qualified as #1. Is there perhaps a little bit of finals nerves in Kobe Hawks? Do you think they can get over the line here, Dougal?
I think it's been a nervy innings, but I still think they'll get over the line.
Hold my dinner.
Leg spinner Sunny Singh's back on.
Well, you've been asking for the leg spinner to come back into the attack here, Dougal. This is your moment. What are you going to see? You're going to see wickets? You're going to see runs?
I'm going to back him to take a wicket here.
Backing him for a wicket. Let's see what we can get. I think Sunny Singh could quite well win the match for them if he were to get a wicket here. And a good first delivery, but it's just hit the pads and run down leg side. Just the one run, but I'm sure Sunny Singh would have been hoping for a dot ball first up.
Got the left-hander on strike now, which He'd probably rather not have.
We're in the 18th over here now, Dougal, and the very well liked and respected, the late Dean Jones, always said if you win the 18th over, you win the match. It was one of the big statistics that he had. Do you think Sunny Singh is aware of that 18th over magic and what he might be able to produce here?
Well, he's got the number 18 on his shirt. It's almost like he was born for this moment.
Exactly right. I hadn't noticed that, but spot on. Now let's see if we can get a wicket from number 18 in the 18th. Well, it hasn't produced a wicket, hasn't produced a boundary either. The throw that came in actually hit the wickets, but the batsman was safe well before that. A little bit unlucky perhaps, but is the field set right for the leg spinner? If he's bowling onto those legs, it's going to go well away from the keeper. No one's there to stop the ball. What do you feel about this field, dude?
Yeah, I think he's adjusting right now on cue. You need that short, fine leg. He seems to have placed almost directly behind the wicketkeeper now, but it's the right idea. Just turning it into the pads, so you need a little bit more protection.
It looks like we've got a backstop almost.
Yeah.
I definitely agree there, Dougal, that not somebody on the rope, but bring the fielder up short into the inner circle on the leg side. You don't want to be giving away even a single at this stage. And again, they're moving the field, but the fielder this time is going back to the boundary rope.
Full toss will just be one.
I think Sunny Singh was very lucky there. The batsman, if he'd connected, he could have got quite a big six. Having said that, the batsman doesn't want to get out right now. He won't be taking any unneeded risks. Lots of communication from Royal Osaka Tigers players here, shouting out to each other. That's a
Well
good
bowled.
Now, that was a good ball, wasn't it? Crucial moment. Unfortunately, a single got taken, but that was really a good ball. Landed it perfectly. This is where I think the fielding, they need to bring the person up into the inner circle behind the wicket there. If he can turn this off his legs, there's a single all the time. The fielder's not willing to throw the ball back in case there's overthrows. The batsman almost willing him to come on, have a go at the wickets. I think both teams are getting a little bit nervous here in the final stages. Either team could win, and neither wants to make a mistake.
I still feel these fielders are too deep in the inner ring.
I'd have to agree, Dougal. Corbett can win this on singles alone.
It's up in the air. That's a catch.
That's got to be caught. He's taken it. Safe pair of hands there. Dougal, it seemed the wrong strategy almost for the batsmen. We were saying they could win with singles, and instead they were going for the big hit.
That's exactly right, Alan. I think he just saw that leg break tossed up right in his hitting arc, and he thought, I'm gonna pump that over the boundary ropes, and it's got almost a bit of a leading edge on it.
He might have been casting his mind back to the World Cup over in England with some players like Ben Stokes and so on hitting the winning sixes over the boundary. Maybe he had in his mind it was 2 sixes for the win. I still think if Corbett settled down here, they can nudge a few singles around, get very close to that target, and they can still get the win. On the other hand, Royal Osaka Tigers, they're edging closer with the number of wickets they're taking. You only need to take 10 wickets and the match is over.
Well, you need some cool heads. And we've got Mahmood Rahman at the crease. Also doubles up as the Kobe Hawks team manager, and he does a very good job. He's going to be asked to do a different job here at number 9.
It's interesting with Mahmood coming in here at number 9. Mahmood often does open the batting. I would say he's more of the player who would look for the single normally, even if the circumstances didn't require it as they do today. I think he may look to rotate this strike and perhaps get them over the line. And that's a good start from Mahmood, just as we were expecting. He's rotated the strike, got an easy single. If his partner can do the same, then Kobe may be the winners.
The equation is 11 balls remaining, 9 runs required. 3 wickets required for the Royal Tigers.
I wonder if everybody in the middle has done the same math, figured out what they need to do. I'm sure the captain will be running those computations right now. Where can he save a single? Where can he stop the runs? And that's another good single. Mahmood was looking for it as well. He came down the wicket fast.
Ilmang Josh it was who took the catch just earlier. Back onto bowl, hasn't quite got his lines right today.
That certainly did look a bit too short, particularly sitting from here. We're aware of those singles. I just wonder whether the fielders have got the message and whether the bowler understands you need to stop the singles. A boundary obviously isn't what they would want, but the singles are the important factor right now.
Mahmood casting his eyes around that infield. Just considering where his next single is going to come from, I think.
This is a wonderful advert for cricket down here in Kansai, the finals of the Japan Cup, going down to the wire. See, Mahmood knocks another single away. He's very good in that area. And he's looking for the single at every chance.
Yeah, he's just brought a little bit of calmness out to the wicket with him. Not trying to do everything in boundaries. Realises that a run of ball will get his team over the line.
When I have played against Mahmood, one of his favourite sayings is to try and get a strike rate of 100, 1 run for 1 ball. And it certainly looks at the moment as that's what he's achieving. That's his goal. Kobe Hawks seem to have the strategy of taking this down to the last over before they want to hit the winning run. That's a good ball, but can they get back for 2? Oh, a misfield, but it did not cost them. That would have been interesting, Dougal, if the batsman had come back for the second.
Probably would have got there.
With the misfield, I think they would, but was the pressure on the fielder because he saw them coming back?
Royal Tigers captain Kunwa Mahenda screaming at his players, imploring them to get a bit closer and cut off these ones.
That's another nice single there for Kobe Hawks. Just the field is just too deep. They can't stop the singles at the moment. The captain, I think, needs to realise that in normal play, this field might be set quite nicely, but for this current point where every run is a chance they could lose, they need to pull the field up. They need to take the risk.
Well, they're within 1 boundary of completing this chase.
Well, they're coming back. No, they've decided not to take the second. Again, Mahmood just cautioning, making sure they take this to the last over.
That's exactly what they wanted to do. 6 balls and the 6 singles off that over.
It's been very interesting to watch both of the teams today bat on this new wicket here at Kaizaka Cricket Field. It's wonderful to see the fielders able in the outfield to be playing on grass, and it's quite interesting. We weren't sure what would be a good score here. We thought 120 was a little bit less than par, but as it turns out, both teams are scrambling to make that 120. It's still very, very close.
I think batsmen from both teams have just struggled a little bit with the extra bounce here today.
I definitely agree with that. The short ball has helped the bowlers. We've seen a few sixes from some short balls, but generally speaking, short ball has skidded on to the wicketkeeper and troubled the batsman.
No, we're going to have to have something special here from the last over. Skipper's got the ball in his hand.
Just getting confirmation, I think, from the umpire as to how many balls, what they have to do. We start the final over. Let's see what the skipper has. It's not the start Royal Osaka Tigers would have wanted for the final over. But how many times have you seen a wicket follow a wide? The bowler makes a comeback to save the day.
Well, he's going to want to take a wicket after that start.
Perhaps a hat trick might redeem himself.
Certainly would. That'll be it.
It looks like the winning run. It's a big 6. And the Kobe Hawks players are very pleased to see that ball leave the stadium. And that's the win for Kobe Hawks.
Wow, what a way to bring up the win in the final. Just short of a length, and he just rolled into that hook shot.
It was perfectly planned, wasn't it? Take it deep into the 20th over and then finish it with a 6.
I have to say, well played to the Royal Osaka Tigers, putting it into the last over, but in the end, Kobe Hawks just a little bit too good.
Yeah, well done to Kobe Hawks. They're the champions for this year in the Japan Cup Kansai region. Both teams actually will be advancing to the finals, the national finals in Sano, which is being held on this coming weekend, I believe, David.
That's exactly right. 6 days away from the Japan Cup finals, and the Royal Tigers didn't get the job done today, but still very much in the race to be crowned national champions. 12 teams will be travelling to Sano next weekend, 2-day tournament, and at the end of the 2-day tournament, we'll have a national champion.
Fantastic. How many grounds do you play at when you have the tournament in Sano?
6 grounds. So we have 2 grounds at the Sano International Cricket Ground facility, and a further 4 grounds down near the Watarase River, the other side of Sano. There's a lot happening.
It's going to be a fantastic weekend of cricket for sure, and the best teams in Japan, including the 2 we've just seen playing today, they will all be in Sano for those finals. What can we expect for the streaming for the finals in Sano?
At the moment, we are planning to stream the final match on the Sunday afternoon, which will be a 1 o'clock start Japan time.
Wonderful. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that on the Japan Cricket Association's YouTube channel, and the Japan Cup National Finals that are being held. Should be a wonderful tournament. Thanks to everybody who tuned in to watch today. I hope we can show more games from the Kansai area here at the Kaizaka Cricket Field. Certainly we enjoyed bringing this cricket to you, and whether we are broadcasting from Sano or down here in Kansai, I hope you can enjoy the cricket. Thank you. We've finished our official coverage now. We're just watching some of the celebrations on the field as the players are being mobbed by their fans and their families. It's wonderful to see that down here in Kaisuke, the new field that's been built, we have a lot of families and friends that have come down to watch the cricket.
Great support for both these teams. I think we've got a lot of the Pakistan community of Kansai who've come along today.
And I'm just watching on the side of the field. We're showing the highlights on the YouTube stream. Of course, I'm watching on the side of the field. We've got a Kaisuke character dressed up coming onto the field. I don't know whether they're going to play cricket with him. And we're seeing a few of the players. We might just leave you at the moment to watch some of the scenes that we've got here at the cricket. We're going to have the closing ceremony soon, present the trophy for this year. But if you want to watch some more highlights, they'll be showing here. You might see some of the great catches, the run-outs, and generally good cricket. Thank you very much.